Okay, so welcome to the second session of this week. I wanted to start with some modification of the deadline. Also, what I can do quickly is just check the previous venue. I'll just check the other venue if anyone is there by mistake, and then I'll be back. No one is there, sure. Oh, okay, perfect. Then that's taken care of. Okay, now I know we had a discussion yesterday about the Sri Lanka trip and the change of dates. And apparently, I did talk to Mariam, and she has confirmed that it is going to be 20th. Though she mentioned there are two groups, but again, I think both the groups are same week itself. Three groups, yeah. So it's in the same week, right? 2022 and 28 is the last one. So we discussed a possibility where we can say, okay, all the analytics students, go in a particular group. But I personally felt that's not going to work because, you have your choices of the dates and groups and so on. So we cannot force anyone to leave on a particular date because we have an assessment. So I came up with a plan and I have discussed this with the previous batch already, and looks like everyone is comfortable with the plan, but I need to check with you if there are any complications. So please listen very, very carefully. So right now, week number 5 is going on, which will finish this week. Next week will be week 6. Next week will be week 7. Okay. Now, week 7 for your batch, the mock hackathon will be on 15th. Okay, which is Wednesday. Yeah, which is during the class hours. So you get exposed to the mock hackathon. The main hackathon will exactly follow the same as mock hackathon. The only difference is new case study, new data, and so on. But pretty much, the structure and the complexity will almost be the same. So 15th will be your mock hackathon, and here is the big question that I need to ask you. What we are planning is to have the main hackathon on 19th, which is Sunday. The campus will be open. The lab will be booked. Both the batches will be doing the hackathon together. For anyone who needs transportation, it will be arranged on Sunday. I mean, who regularly take the university transport. So that can also be done. The only choices that we were thinking is, should we have it on Saturday or should we have it on Sunday? Come on. So we thought Saturday is better. We also checked with the other group. What Sunday does is gives you an additional day to prepare. So basically 15th, you are having your mock hackathon. So if the main hackathon is Saturday, then basically you have only 2 days, 16th and 17th, to work on the main hackathon. But giving additional Saturday will also help, particularly because 17th Friday, the other AI hackathon is also happening. So you will be consumed, you will be having spending some time over there. So again, keeping the preparation time in mind, Sunday, I think, looks a more logical option so that you get one additional day, preferably in the first half, so that, Sunday, second half, you can be free. So somewhere, I think 10 or 11 a.m. is when we are planning for the main hackathon. Sunday would be okay? Yeah. 40%. Sorry? 40%. That's a 40% assessment, correct. And this is a graded assessment. By the way, the online option is there, but the downside of it, you have to keep your camera switched on. The whole session will be recorded, and there is an AI tool that can actually figure out whether you kept your camera on or not. And again, if the camera doesn't work, then problems, then it's your responsibility, right? So better be on campus so that anything goes wrong, you can ask me, I can see what is happening. So it's much better if you're on campus, but by any chance, because the rules allow hybrid, if you are doing online, then the camera has to be switched on throughout your hackathon. So 19th would be the day. So that leaves, if we have one session on 19th, which is the main hackathon, that leaves us with one more class, one more 3-hour session. And what I'm planning is, once you're back from the trip, we can do a complete online session, which could be Q&A and feedback for your coursework too. So that could be the last session. Again, it's optional. If you have any questions, if you have any doubts, we can have one online session. where you can come at a specific time and you can ask questions about coursework too. So that can be dedicated to coursework too, so that after the trip you don't have to be on campus and no problems if you're traveling somewhere. So I think that's the way best we can manage the last week. Does that sound okay with everyone? Yeah. The other deadline remains the same, which is 31st, I think I have kept. 31st of July, coursework 2 remains the same. Again, there was a request from the previous batch, can that deadline be extended because you are going for a trip? So to answer that question, I'm okay with extending the deadline. The only problem is I'll have to check with Mariam what's the grade submission deadline for the business school. Usually, I need at least 7 to 8 days to go through all the 80 recorded presentations, give you grades and marking. So, I can adjust in 7 to 8 days, but we also have a deadline where we have to submit the marks. So, I will see if our deadline matches a bit of extension. There is a possibility I can extend by a few days. I don't mind it. But if it cannot be, then it remains 31st. So I can check on that. From my side, I'm okay. There's no hard and fast rule that I cannot extend. But remember, 31st is already a sort of extended deadline because it's almost 1 week after your last week. So I'm not sure how much I can help, but whatever possible, I would love to do that. If there's a possibility of extension, I can extend by a few days. Any questions? Yes. We gave them no classes because one class would be hackathon that you would do on Sunday. And the second class would be an online session once you come back. So no classes then during the week. Any other questions? Anyone has, please let me know. Anything that came up from coursework 2 or anything that we had a discussion yesterday? Yes, correct. So again, I'll see if the deadline can be extended. If it is not, then around 21st, 22nd, we can keep the draft deadline at least 7 to 8 days before the actual date. Yeah. Anything else? All good? Okay. Online students, let me know if there's any question from your end. Those who came late can quickly scan the QR code and then I'll close the attendance. Sorry?
Oh,
Yep.
I think save my this thing we did, but it's still like not.
No, it's all autosave. There's nothing that you have to save. Probably are you making the same mistake? I mean, if you can. Yes. Yeah, please. So are you checking your folder first of all?
Yeah.
Yeah. And when you search, tell me your name. Sorry. Siddharth. Yeah, I know. Sorry. Siddharth, this one, right? Yeah. So if you see and if you go back, yeah, there's Titanic. So guys, this is a mistake that everyone is doing. Please, again, be careful. So for example, Siddharth's folder, if I'm looking at, I go to project folder, I search for Siddharth and I click on the folder. I might feel that there are only two projects right now, but that's because SID is already being searched. Okay. So you need to remove that and make sure there is nothing that is searched and then you can see all the five projects.
So the Titanic, that one I've made right now,
Okay.
which I'm working on.
Okay. What about
The
Titanic?
not Titanic.
Ah, okay. So let's see.
That's the problem.
So what was the name given to your project last time? That you should, yeah, be careful on anything that you're making a project. That's why I said keep it in your folder so that you can always track back. Uh, do you you can do one thing. Mm-mm.
So that's not the April's part. Can they just show me that prepare recipe one that I'm doing?
No, or what you can do is So you can actually use my project. So if you search KD, you will see a folder called KD123. Do you see that?
Yes, sir.
And in that you can search Titanic underscore KD. Yeah, and you can just start using that. Yeah. Okay, shall we get started, everyone? Yeah. Any questions? Shall we get started? Okay, so let me get to the folder. You are using Titanic KD, is it? So I should be using Titanic. All right, let's get started. So to remind you of where we were and what did we do in the last class, we had our Titanic data set. We figured out which variables are important, which variables are not. Which algorithm are we doing? Do you remember? Is it supervised learning or unsupervised learning? Okay. Does it do categorical prediction or does it do numerical prediction? Fantastic. You guys are sorted. Nice. So then we looked at Titanic, we looked at all the columns, we figured out which columns could be helpful, which columns might not be helpful. Then we did a prepare recipe, we transformed the data, and then we have a prepared Titanic data set. And then we split our data into training and testing. What is the general thumb rule for training and testing? 80-20, you can play around. It can be 90-10, but nothing beyond and above that. Generally 80 to 90, you should maintain your training data. Great. Now is the time when we actually implement the algorithm. You have to be very careful because the first algorithm that you run, then everything remains the same for the other algorithm. So you must get used to where to give the inputs, where to see the output, where to see the predicted value and things like that. So again, it's a sort of learning curve. When you do one or two times, then it comes naturally to you. But till then, you should be very careful in your mind which option, where do you find, which name are you giving to the analysis, what name are you giving to the trials. You should be very careful in navigating the whole thing. And you should become an expert in reading the output. And that's why probably today's entire session will be required to see how to run, to play with the parameters, to understand the output, to see the mathematical parameters. But once you know how to do it for one algorithm, the next one is probably half an hour, 45 minutes job for you. You just need to know what the new algorithm is. Everything else remains the same. So shall we? Tell me in which folder or which data set should I click to apply logistic regression? Train, that's right. So let's click on train first and then see all the options which are coming on the right hand side. Now, here is my question. Do you see any recipe which says logistic regression? Not really, right? Check all the options. Do you see any recipe that says anything with machine learning, anything with AI? Yeah, there is a code recipe. Now, this is very, very interesting, and I'll touch upon it later. So now this is, probably the coolest part of data IQ. Let's say you're doing some way more advanced things, okay, which is not there in the tool. So what you can do after doing all this, you realize there is something way more advanced that you need to do. You can bring coding, and you can actually bring a Python code here in the form of an item. You can ask ChatGPT to fill in that code for you, and you can even run the code inside Data IQ for those who are interested in coding. But we are not going to touch upon that because already there is a lot of things that Data IQ can do. Probably I cannot think of anything that at this stage that the tool cannot do. So let's click on Titanic train. And when you do that, you see an option called lab. Can all of you see that option called lab? Yeah, click on lab. And now you would see some things related to ML. So you have auto ML prediction. For those of you who are interested in time series forecasting, basically what we did in regression was time series forecasting. Okay, but there are other methods other than regression, ARIMA model, this model, that model. Everything can be done here. The causal prediction, what causes something to the effect of another thing. Object detection. You remember that Google Teachable Engine that we did? You can actually build something like that inside Data IQ, image classification, clustering, so on. Lot of different AI models that you can run. The one that we are going to click today is Auto ML Prediction. And I want all of you to click on that. Auto machine learning prediction. Yes. Sorry. I think I've started the recording. Let's check.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's being recorded. Okay. Now, see the beauty of the tool. The moment you said auto ML prediction, it pulled out all the columns of your data set. And it is asking you, can you tell me what it is asking you? No? Think.
Prediction model.
Sorry?
Prediction model.
What do you want to predict? Exactly. There are a lot of things in this column, right? In this data set, you need to tell Data IQ, what are you trying to predict? Which column are you trying to build the model on? Can you tell me which column? So, right. So, and why this is an important step, based on the nature of the column that you select, it will recommend algorithms. For example, if you select survive, you will not see regression as one of the algorithms because regression can only help you do numerical prediction. This is a categorical prediction. So according to what you select, you want to predict, it will recommend the algorithms accordingly. So let's click on survived. Now it understood that you are creating a prediction model on survived as a column. Now it says, I can build some prototypes for you. I can build some automatic models for you. You can do deep learning algorithms. If you remember the conversation that we had, you can do basically anything. But right now, I am knowledgeable in the sense I know the algorithms. I can pick and choose the algorithms. I can play around. Other options are mainly for people who have no idea. Like, let's say you don't know anything, you just want to blindly trust Data IQ. It can still do some modeling and give you some answer. But right now we are knowledgeable. We know what we can execute. So what I would say is this one: choose algorithms. I will choose my own algorithms. Click on that. Now, the moment you do choose algorithms, it will say, please name your analysis. You can give any name. You can retain the name if you want, but let's give it a name. I can say survived model or whatever you want. Analysis one, you can give it any name to your analysis. And once you do that, make sure you have selected choose algorithms. You have given a name. You can retain the original name also, does not matter too much. And click on create. Has everyone arrived on this? If you can keep your screens active, I know all of your the stage. Nice, nice, nice. Fantastic. Great. Okay, now before we touch upon the input versus output, let me show you the navigation, and all of you should get comfortable with navigation. The moment we get into the analysis, it shows you two things: design and result. Okay. Now, in design, you can give a lot of inputs. For example, what is your X1, what is your X2, what is your X3? You still have to say that, right? We didn't tell which variables will help us find the survive. So you can mention that. You can choose the algorithms. Which algorithm do you want to try in your analysis? You can choose the training and testing strategy. Which one is your train data? Which one is your test data? All of those inputs are part of design. Once your design is done and you're confident that everything that you had to give, you give as an input. When you click on train, you will see the results in the results tab. So right now, when you click on results tab, you see nothing because we haven't run any algorithm yet. Whenever we keep on running, and this is the beautiful part of data IQ, everything that you do is all documented. For example, if you run it 10 times, right from the result of the first one till the result of the 10th one, all of them come in one space. Okay, so you can keep on running, then you can go to design, change something, again run, again come back to the result, again go to design, change something, come back to the result. Every time you keep on running, your entire history of the algorithms will be documented in this result tab. So two tabs to watch out for: design for the inputs of the algorithm, result for output of the algorithm. Okay. What else? Now, this top menu also comes into picture. So we were seeing only this part so far, which is flow and dataset. Now that you have entered machine learning, this menu also becomes important. So for example, if you click on the first one, visual ML, you can see the name of the analysis that you gave. Okay. When you chose survived and you gave a name, if you have multiple analysis, you can have multiple analysis listed here. Within the analysis, you can have multiple trials listed. So just make sure that you keep a track of how many analysis you're running. When you click on this, it will take you back on the same thing, design versus result tab. So I can keep going back and forth. I want you to get comfortable. So go back, see the results, and you would say, oh, there is one analysis here, which is survived model. And that will take me to the design/result tab. What happens when I see the flow now? You see nothing has come on the flow yet. And that's why this menu option is important, because when you're doing something, it won't appear as of now till you decide this is fine. And till you deploy the algorithm, till that stage, nothing is coming in the flow. Only when you're full and final ready deployed, then that deployed stage will be visible in the flow. So that's why flow is not quite important. This menu becomes more important now, where I can keep going back to my service, the survive model, and I can see the design versus result tab. So what do you think I should play next in? Design or result? Design. Let's go ahead. Tell what we want. Okay. How do we start? Let's start from all the left-hand options. Okay. The first thing it says target, and see the beauty of the tool. Because you told survived is what you're predicting, it has automatically figured out this is a two-class classification, correct? Which means survive or not survive. And it is telling you what you are more interested in. Look at target. Are you more interested in predicting survival, or are you interested in predicting not survive? That can also be the case. For example, in a bank, a loan default, are you trying to do the probability of a loan default, or are you trying to do the other way? So you can choose what is your target variable. In this case, I'm more interested in survival, which means whenever I see those probabilities, they reflect the probability of survival, not of not survive. So be careful, whatever you are interested in, mention that as the target. So in this case, it picked up correctly. Survived is what I'm interested in. And what else? What else? It shows how many are survived, how many are not survived, 0 and 1, which is great. All looks good. Target wise, we are sorted. Next, what do you think that is? After target, train and test. Now you have to be a bit careful here. Click on train and test. Now it says, what's your strategy of training and testing? What's the policy? Right now, the problem is by default, it is assuming that you haven't done the split already. So now it's saying, do you want to split the data set further? Which is not what I want. I've already done it. I have a train data. I have a test data. I just need to inform data IQ. Where is my train data? where is my test data? So let's look at the option. Let's click on policy. Now, question to you. Which option do you think I should choose? Check all the options, check the description, and tell me which option should I be choosing.
The last one.
Last one is explicit extracts from another data set. One use two extracts from another data set. Okay.
So second, third
First one, okay, two from Titanic Train, one from 10. Second one is explicit extracts from two data sets. Use two extracts from two different data sets, one for train, one for test. That's what we want. We already have one data set which is train. We already have another data set which is test. That's exactly what I want. I click on second. Bring data from different data sets. Okay. Now, observe carefully. In this case, this might not be a problem, but in a bigger data set, this will be a problem. Look at train set and look at what it is doing. It's actually sampling the train. Do you want to sample it further? No, I don't want. I want the entire train to be used as train, the entire test to be used as test. So ideally, in this case, it wouldn't make a difference because it's taking so many records as the sample. But why take risk? Instead of this, no sampling. Please don't sample anything in train. Similarly, please don't sample anything in test. Sorry, yeah, explicit data from two data sets. Third, so ideally 1, 2, 3. This is the option. Explicit extracts from two data sets. Use two extracts from two different data sets, one for train, one for test. Perfect. Now, train, has it chosen correctly? Is this the data set that I want? Yes, I already have Titanic train. Very well chosen. All good. And no sampling, please. What about test? Has it chosen by default? No. This is where I would say, please choose test. Where is test? There you go. Titanic test. And again, no sampling, please. Use full train, use full test. Don't do any more drama of any sampling. So just make sure that train is in train, test is in test, and you're all ready. Then no more drama required in training and testing. Okay, that is done. I've given some inputs. Let's move to metrics. No need to change anything. Debugging. These are all advanced options for those who are trying to do a PhD can look into all this right now. Not important. Next, features. Do you think this will be important right now? 100% yes. Why? Because what do you mean? What is the meaning of features? Variables, 100%. So let's click on features handling. And this is where data IQ is asking you, which variable do you want to push to the model? Which variable you want to exclude from the model? Remember, as I told, by technique, string variables cannot go into the model. So by default, it will be switched off. But others, it will never say that should you or should you not. That's your decision. If you send bad models, it will still run. It will still give you a result. And you might think that's a great result. But if you send bad variables, if you send correlated variables, you are heading to disaster. And this is where human decision making is important. And all the discussion that we had, whether class is important, whether gender is important, whether embark is important, etc., etc. Now we will put that to action. Why do you think survived the on-off button itself is not available? That's what you're predicting. That's your target variable, right? So there is no question of including that in independent variable. Why do you think passenger ID is switched off? It's a string, right? Or number or whatever. That does not make sense. So data IQ is smart enough to understand ID can never become one of your independent variables. P class is switched on by default. Should we keep it on? Yeah, we already saw how important P class is. Name, you see it says rejected. It's a text feature. So this is what AI is doing. It's automatically even recommending you what should go, what should not go. It understands that name should never go. Technically, it cannot go. So name is off. No problem with that. What about gender? Should we keep it on?
Yeah.
Yes, definitely, 100%. What about age? Now, those who had age categories can keep that on or keep it off. Let's do all age together. In the next run, you can do age category on. Okay. But don't keep both of them on. That will be a disaster. Either age or age category for uniformity. Let's keep age as of now. Don't switch on age category as of now. CBSP and PASH. Yeah, we were not sure, but we'll keep it. We'll see what the algorithm says. What about ticket ID? No, that is 100% off. I should not be taking ticket ID. What about fare?
So,
No, and we discussed the reason why. It is correlated with class. I should not take it. What about cabin? Switch it off again. I should not take it. What about embark? Again, no, but I'll keep it on just to see what importance data IQ gives for something which might not be relevant. And the good part is, even at this point of time, you can take some decisions. For example, when you click on embarked, you can see the distribution of embarked. When you click on gender, you can still see what percentage of males, what percentage of females. So it very nicely summarizes everything. And that does a heavy lifting job of figuring which variables should go, which variables should not go. That part is done. Type you cannot change. It has to come back from data. Not at this point. I don't think so. There is nothing much to be done in feature generation, feature reduction. Again, those are advanced things. Let's come to modeling. That's where we want to see what algorithms is Data IQ recommending right now. So you would see by default it has switched on logistic regression. It's also recommending random forest, which we will be seeing, but I will switch it off as of now. And here is the best thing about Data IQ. Once you know decision trees, once you know random forest, you can switch all three of them together. And with the same analysis, you can run all three algorithms and compare the results, in which one you got better results, in which one you got less accuracy. So you can even run them together if you want, but do that later. Right now, one algorithm at a time. We'll switch on only logistic regression. Okay, anything else? Yeah, I think pretty much looks okay. Again, if you want to explore some advanced things, you can. Now, here, once you have made all the changes, I would recommend clicking on save because you have given a lot of inputs to the design. So click on save. And once it is saved, then you can click on train. The interpretation to text. Maybe you missed that earlier. Can I check your data? Yeah, that's okay. And click on yeah. Yeah, see, it is. So we did it next. But I don't think that makes too much of a difference in the morning, but still try it out. Yeah. Yes. Correct. Correct. Correct.
Then why are we taking extracts for tests?
That's a good question. Everyone, please listen. So the question is, we said that we will be making the model with the train and saving the test for the test. So why did we have to at this stage tell that this is test, because once we click run, it will do that job for you also. It will take the test data, it will predict it for all. How many passengers were there in test? 170 something, right? For all the 173 passengers, it will do the prediction, it will compare with the actual data, and it will give you the accuracy all at one go. So we don't have to wait another step where, oh, now the algorithm is done, let me test it on test data. With one button click, all done, and you'll see that now. So if I didn't give test data at this point of time, that step will be incomplete. So right now at one go, I tell this is the test data. Once you have done the algorithm, test it on those 173 rows, do the prediction, compare with the actual result, and show me how many matched, how many did not match, all at one go. That's the beauty of the tool. Everything can be done in one attempt. Okay, now careful
Sir,
here.
I just had a
Yes.
quick question.
Go ahead,
Would you go once again from feature handling? You went quickly, so I just lost track over there.
No problem, no problem at all. So in feature handling, I switched off. Are you done with feature handling?
Yes.
Yeah. So I switched off ticket, fare, cabin, the ones that did not make sense. And then the only thing I did was algorithms. That's it.
And we turned off random forest, correct?
We turned off random forests. Only logistic regression should be switched on. That's it.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect. Okay, now guys, everyone, when you click on train, now you have to be a bit careful here. What was the name that we gave to the overall analysis? What I gave, anyone remembers? I can go back and check. So I go to Visual ML. There you go. Survive model is the name of the analysis. And listen very, very carefully. Within this analysis, I can do multiple trials. Okay. The one that I'm going to do right now is trial one. Which algorithm am I doing in trial one? Logistic regression, and I have some set of independent variables. Okay. Now imagine I finished trial one. I got the results. I saw the accuracy. Now I'm thinking, oh no, I should not have considered age as a variable. Instead of that, I should have considered categorical age. Okay. I can go back to design. I can switch off age. I can switch on categorical age and rerun the analysis. That will be my second trial, trial two. Okay. Again, I can go back to design and I can say, oh, I wanted to try random forest also. I can switch on random forest, switch off logistic regression, go for trial three. So I can have multiple trials within the same analysis. Overall, analysis is still the same, survive model, but every time I run, I can keep a track of what I was doing with trial one, trial two, trial three, trial four, so that at the end, I can decide which trial was the best model for my analysis. And once I'm convinced that trial two was the best one, I can go ahead and deploy it. The problem, if you don't give multiple names, everything will be written on the previous trial itself. And then you say, oh, no, 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 the first trial was the best one. Now there is no way to go back to trial one, right? So every time you are experimenting something, give it a new name, trial two, trial three, trial four, trial five, so that you can compare all the trials, select which model is the best for you, and then go ahead and do the analysis. So let me get again. So this was my design. I hope everything is good. Train and test algorithms, only one switched on. So I click on train, I give it a name trial one, and then click run. Or now this is where I'm keeping my fingers crossed, because when 40 of you are doing the algorithm run together, I hope the server is taking that. Okay. Yeah, it will take time because all of us are doing at the same time. But that's good enough time. In 5-6 seconds, if you're getting it. Oh, good. I'm happy. Server is handling this. Nice. Random data. So remember, all of you might not get the same results. Our data is random. Train is random. Test is different. So everyone is practically running on different data. So you might get different values, different results, etc. But hold on, we haven't seen the results yet. Anyone who does not see something like this, does not see a champion trophy, does not see the top variables, let me know. I'll be happy to assist. All good, you guys came late. Are you okay? Yeah? Yeah, all good, all good. That's it. Yeah, I tell you everything. Okay, now let's make sense of some of the things that you are seeing on board. Now, everyone, be careful. First things first, you see it says which models have you trained previously. Right now, I did only one trial, so you see trial one. The moment you do trial two, trial three, trial four, the entire history will keep on coming over here. Okay, which is a great way to go back, compare. Oh, this is what happened in trial one, this is what happened in trial two. Now, the most important output parameter as of now is this number that you see right next to logistic regression. And these numbers might be different because random data, so training data is different. Now, let me tell you what that number is. Can anyone take a guess? What is 0.829 and why there is a champion icon? Survival? Probability? No. Whose probability? How, which accuracy? Very close, not R square, very close. Anything else? P value, okay, good guess. Anything else? Yes, I agree. If it is near to one, you're looking at a bang on fantastic model that you ran, but there is a meaning to that 0.829. Let me tell you, what is that 0.829? It was the answer to your question. She was asking, why did we give test data at this stage? You know what it did in 5 seconds? It ran the model, it got the equation, it put the equation in your test data. How many rows were there in test data? 173. It predicted survived or not survived in all the 173 rows. One on one, it compared algorithm's prediction versus actual 0 or 1. And in 82.9% of the rows, the prediction matched. Which is fantastic, which means 80 percentage of 173 rows, the algorithm's prediction and the actual answer was actually matching. And that tells you how strong a model without doing anything. We haven't done much of experiment. Even without doing anything, I have achieved 80% accuracy. So within this 5 seconds, all the drama has already happened, which would take 1 hour in coding. So in coding, you do the algorithm first, then you plug in the test data, then you compare yourself with formula, how many matched, how many did not. Here, everything done and dusted. It already took your test data, and I'll show you. You can actually go to the backend, see the prediction for all the 173 rows, see what the algorithm predicted, see what the actual answer was. And in this case, I can say 82.9, which is roughly 83 percentage of my test data. Algorithm's prediction matched the actual prediction. With all the randomness that we have, anyone got higher accuracy? All of you got lower than 82.9. Same. See, almost, and that also shows how generic this model is. In spite of having a sort of different test and train, roughly the accuracy is remaining the same, which is quite fantastic. That is first. My eyes will go on that. Just imagine if we were running 3 algorithms together. If I was running decision tree as well as random forest. For all 3 algorithms, it would have given you this number. And that tells you, oh, logistic regression is working out better. In this case, decision tree is not working out very, very well. At one snapshot with accuracy, you get to know what is working well, what is not working well. Number one. Number two, by the way, we haven't got inside the results yet. This is just surface level results. Number two, that I will keep an eye on is this. What are the most important variables out of all the 10 variables that you took? What are the top 3 variables which are influencing the survival. What are the top three variables? Gender, P class, and age, which was quite matching the hypothesis, right? We saw how influential P class was, how influential gender was, how influential age was, and you can see everything else below that does not matter. Quick question. Let's see who's smart enough to answer this. How did data IQ come to know those top three variables? And you should be able to answer this. How did data IQ come to know of that top three variables? Very easy question if you think. Okay, agree. Anything else? So imagine this tool was not there. Data IQ was not there. And you ran logistic regression.
Coefficient of these three.
100%. Beautiful answer. The coefficient in the equation, you remember something x1 plus something x2 minus something x3? That something is your importance of the features. And you might ask, where do I see that? Something. Where do I see the coefficients? Remember, we have not got inside the results yet. This is only a surface level results. Once I show you what's happening inside the results, you can do a full PhD. You can have everything that you need. You will have the coefficients, you will have the regression coefficient, you will have the error term, you will have the accuracy, you will have something called confusion matrix. You will have everything that you need. But at this level, I can say the top three variables are gender, P class, and age. So what do you think? Brilliant. Yeah, fantastic answer. Yeah. You remember we had that conversation on why is something x1 plus something x2 plus something x3. And I asked you which variable is the most important, and you saw the previous sales coefficient was 5.5, and you said because it impacts 5.5 times, it is the most important variable. So those are coming from those coefficients. I can actually take you to the PowerPoint presentation. You remember this example? Yeah, this is what it is. So based on 2, -3, 4, and 5.5, it picked out which one is there. By the way, this is regression equation. The ideal equation that you should be seeing is this one. So based on beta 1, beta 2, beta 3, it is predicting in which case the probability impact will be higher. So it orders based on that. Okay. All right. Now we are still on surface level results. Let's get inside the beautiful world of logistic regression. Before that, questions.
So, the question tells it like the which you told back is not
Correct.
a good fit for
Correct.
but still then in the equation
Very good question. Your name?
Aditya.
Aditya. Now, this is how an analyst should think. Now you should say that, okay, I'm getting this. I understand that gender, P class, and age are very important. Probably still SP, but definitely not embarked and parents and children. Okay. Now the analyst inside you should be tempting you to say, what if I run it once more? This time without embarked. That's my trial too. Now, if I run it without embark, will my accuracy improve? Will my accuracy reduce? Will it make any difference in the other coefficients? That's how you keep. And this is where, there is no end to this, right? I cannot say I'm done and dusted. This is how an analyst will run trial and errors, will compare the results, will see in which case the hypothesis matches, and finally will decide in which case an analyst is satisfied. So that's a great point. Now I have included embark. What happens when I exclude embark? Or will it affect anything? Will it be the same? If there is a possibility, it might remain the same because anyway it's not affecting much, so it does not alter anything. But if that was troubling, then removal of that can help you improve the accuracy. Could happen, could not happen, but I will give it a try. And that's a great way to think. Okay. What else? Good enough for the surface level. Now let's dig deeper. And this is exactly what you need to do for every algorithm. You shouldn't be satisfied with the outermost results. You should get inside. You should see what is happening in logistic regression. How do we get inside the results? It's very simple. Just click on whichever algorithm you want to get inside. So in this case, logistic regression, just go here and click. And once again, what I want you to do is go back and forth. So for example, right now you are here inside the results. You see this was the name of the analysis. This is the list of models, and you are currently looking at trial one results. If I click on models, it will take me back to this page where I was, outer results. And I can again click on logistic regression, again go back here. If I click on survive model, it will take me back to the actual model. I can also go to visual ML. I can click on survive model. I can get back to this page. If I want to see the results, click on logistic regression, get inside the results page. Get comfortable in what is the result page, what is the outer level results page. This is the result of an individual algorithm, while this is the result of all the trials that you are doing at one go. Okay. So go back and forth. Make sure you get comfortable on where to reach what. So once again, I start from here. And again, I can show you the flow. You see, nothing has changed in the flow. I haven't deployed anything. I'm just trial, trial, trial. I have not made any changes. So I go to Visual ML. I see, okay, this is the name of my overall analysis. Let me click that. I can see the results. Individual results, I can click inside that and arrive at the results of logistic regression. Anyone who has not reached this, I'll give you 1 minute to just, see everything around, go back and forth, see the flow again, make sure nothing has changed in the flow, click on the analysis, go to visual ML again, get to this, come out of this, get that navigation clear so that you know where you are. And finally, land up on this page. Everyone good? Shall we get started? Now let's see some mind-blowing things. And truly, you will be amazed to see what data IQ is doing for you. Should I show the most interesting feature first or last? First. All right. The most mind-blowing feature that you would ever see, which would take probably multiple days to code that in a coding environment, is a feature which is called what if analysis. Click on that and I'll show you what a mind-blowing feature this is. So click on what if, wait for the graph to load and make sure your graph is loaded. Can everyone put this on your screen? Just click on what if analysis. You will see some graph. Yeah. Okay. Now, everyone pay attention on what a feature this is. Now, what data IQ is telling you is you can make a hypothetical customer, or sorry, in this case, passenger. You can have a hypothetical passenger. Tell me the details of the passenger live, and I will do a live prediction then and there itself. Okay. For example, let's say the gender of the passenger is female. Change it to female. The class in which the passenger is traveling is class 1. Let's make it class 1. Let's say the age, and you can actually click on the edit button and put the actual age. Let's say age is 35. Let's say they are traveling with 0 siblings and spouse. Let's say the embarked is S, and let's say they are traveling with 1 parents and children. Give any hypothetical data. Now, as soon as you give this hypothetical data, this is your live prediction based on the model that it ran. So based on this profile of a passenger who is a female traveling in class 1 has the age of 35, there is a 93.2 percentage chance that this passenger will survive the disaster. Look at that. Probability of 1 is 93.24, and it also gives you the prediction. It says the prediction for this passenger is 1, not 0, which means the final prediction is that the passenger would survive. However, remember, this prediction of 1 is based on a probability cutoff, which you can change, which data I use, assuming I think 0.5 or 0.45 to be default, but that's a live predictor. Now, what I can do is change this passenger to the other end. Okay. Right now, this passenger is on survival end, which means there's a 90 plus chance that this passenger will survive. And I know how to make it the other way. Can you tell me what profile should I change? Male. So let's do male and let's do a class of 3. And there you go. A male passenger traveling in class 3 with all the other attributes remaining the same, there is only a 12% chance of survival. And the final prediction for this passenger is 0. And this is fantastic. I mean, if you have a dashboard like this, a new customer is coming in, plug in the data of the new customer, new passenger, see the live prediction, take actions.
So what is that, the most essential feature of?
So this I will explain in the explainability, which is basically based on the coefficient again. So for this particular profile, mostly again, it is gender, class, and age are the top 3. And I'll explain the green and the red code also. And if I have to answer your question right now, I can say that gender is working against the odds of survival in this case. Class, because they are in class 3, is also working against. Age is also slightly working against the favor. But I'll come to that part later. So this is the best feature where you can do live predictions. I can give you any customer, any passenger. You can plug in the data and you can do live predictions. Feature number 1. What else can we check? Let's get to explainability of the model. And this is very important. Let's click on feature importance. This is what you saw in the outer snapshot also, that gender is important, P class is important. But what takes me to a technical perspective is regression coefficients. Now we get the exact value of beta 1, beta 2, beta 3, and look at how we interpret. Stay with me on this. This is very, very important. Now, let's look at, I'll give a more simple explanation to start with. Let's look at age. Okay. What's the coefficient of age? Minus 0.0364. How do you explain it to a layman? Yes, Brenda.
When age, with all other variables constant, when the age of a passenger increases by 1, or probability of the survival increases by 1.
Fantastic. Now this is best explanation. When age increases by 1 unit, the probability of survival reduces not too much, but slightly, which is 0.0388. And that's why you see a red indicator, because it's a negative coefficient. It's reducing your probability. Now, let's read few others. Because the numerical interpretation is a bit different from categorical interpretation, let's move on to categorical interpretation. Now, have a look. Gender, male, coefficient is minus 2.4. Anyone other than Brinda can give me a layman explanation? How do I explain this to someone? What is the gender male minus 2 point something? How do I read it out? Compared to whom? That's the important part. You see, gender female is missing from the list, which means that's the base point of comparison. So how do I read this? Compared to female, if you are a male, your chances of survival goes down 2 2.5 times compared to a female who has a benchmark of 1 as, let's say, the coefficient. So compared to females, male, if you are, then it reduces your probability by 2.5 times, and you see a bigger red indicator out there. Let's look at class 1, or rather the variable P class. Which one do you think it has considered as the base class? P class 2, that's missing. You see, P class 2 is missing. So, how do I read P class 3? Compared to P class 2, if you are in 3, your chances of survival goes down by 0.9. Compared to P class 2, if you are in class 1, your chances of survival is going up by 1.1 times. That's why you see a green over there. So green are the positive coefficients, red are the negative coefficients. Now, let me tell you how an analyst would think about this. All this looks good. Age, on the other hand, looks slightly tricky to me. And I'll tell you why. Because while age, it is showing that as age increases, the probability will go down. But you see, that number is pretty small, 0.03. And listen to it very carefully. What I'm trying to say, if that 0.03 was minus 0.02, or if it was 0.01, or if it was 0, it could have completely changed the interpretation, right? Assume it was plus 0.01. And now I would be saying if age increases by 1 unit, your chances of survival are going up. Now, this is a big dilemma. I mean, age we understand is important variable, but that coefficient with a negative sign is too low a number, because few data here and there, it could actually go to the other end and change the meaning completely. And this is where you will think probably something is happening here. Maybe as age increases, there is a chance that your survival is going down because maybe kids were given preference. But maybe there is a chance senior citizen, maybe after 50, 55, your distribution changes. Maybe they were given a preference, and if you are above 55, then your chances of survival are going higher. You never know. And there is only one thing that can help us examine this better. What is that one thing? Categories. And this is why we made categories. Now, instead of taking age as a number, in your next trial, if you try with categories, probably that can give you a better answer on whether that senior citizen thing was actually happening or you're just thinking out of the blue. So that's a second trial experiment that I will do. But I would take note as these numbers. I will interpret, I will understand what is positively contributing, what is negatively contributing, match my hypothesis with that, and then take an informed decision. Which is even more surprising, that even though the coefficient is so low, but there is still a good importance, it shows something is tricky. And maybe what we are thinking is right, and age categories can be something interesting. So again, that's a great point, great thing to look at, that, it's not that the importance was only 5% or 4% that I can completely ignore. It is looking okay, important, but then the coefficient is looking very, very minor. There's some investigation that needs to be done. Go ahead. Yeah, so intercept is basically a constant. When all the independent variables are 0, where does the survival begin with? So usually we don't spend time interpreting whether the constant is positive, negative. It's just where in the chart it starts its journey. So no need to worry too much about the coefficient. What else? One more important thing. Of course, as I said, you have all the analysis of the world, it gives nice interpretation for everything. Let's look at the most important ones. This one. Confusion matrix. Perhaps the most important piece of information when you look at accuracy. Can everyone see this? Yeah. All right. Now, How do I read this? Can anyone tell me what is happening here in this matrix? What is this 178? First of all, it says total 178. That's your test data. The number of rows in your test. Again, answering your question, it took your test data, it applied it on the test data, it compared the results also. Now, observe carefully. How do I read this? The actual answer was 1 in the test data, and the predicted value was also 1. There were 57 such cases. Okay. The actual answer was 0. The predicted answer was also 0. There were 84 such cases, which means 84 plus 57 out of 178 were the correct predictions, and that leads to 82.9% accuracy. If someone is asking you how many wrong predictions did we get, how would you answer that? 25 plus 12. Those were the wrong predictions. And in your coursework too, you have to be a bit careful here. Now, what can happen is overall accuracy looks 99%. You'll say, oh wow, I got a 99% accuracy. But there is a chance that, let's say, everything was being predicted as 1 and actual was also 1. There are very few cases in the 0, and still the accuracy remains the same. And you have to be careful whether it is overfitting that is causing accuracy or the distribution looks good. So in this case, the distribution looks good, because of which all these scores look good as well. So I would keep an eye on this matrix to make sure I'm not getting blinded by the number in the accuracy. It is predicting good number of cases in 1, it is predicting some cases in 0. There are some misclassifications of 0, 1. There are some misclassifications of 1, 0. It looks a fairly generic model which could work on unknown data also. So I'll be pretty happy with that result. Okay. Any questions so far? All good? Yeah. So that's a good question. And so F1 score actually is based on the calculation of the matrix. So basically there are formulas like true positive divided by true positive plus true negative, etc., etc. But essentially your F1 score can take a hit if majority of your predictions are 1, 1. So what they're saying, don't look at the accuracy alone. Look at all these which are computed from this. Eventually all these scores are computed from here. So if everything looks above 70%, you are quite decent. But let's say if everything is here, your accuracy might be 90, your F1 score could be 30%, and then you see something is a problem. So just make sure that all these are eventually calculated from here. I'm not getting into the formulas, but all of these are calculated from the matrix to see if proper distribution exists and it's not overfitting. That's how you would interpret all this. But there are formulas for all 4, and you don't need the tool. You can apply the formula in the matrix and you can actually compute all these scores. Any other questions so far? Shall we go and check the test data? And if you want to see what is happening in my test data, but before that, there is one piece of information on this screen. Let me check if you can identify. What's the probability benchmark that Data IQ has kept for classifying something as 1, for classifying something as 0? There you go on top. Correct. That's the default that Data IQ has assumed. You can challenge that and you can say, I don't want any sort of biasness here. I'll keep it simple. I'll keep it 0.5, let's say. Yes, the accuracy will change, the calculations will change, but depending on the use case, you can play with that probability benchmark. But you shouldn't play with keeping something like 0.7 or 0.8. That doesn't make any sense. Anything between 0.4 and 0.6 is the gray area that you can try, check if it's affecting your accuracy or not. So usually what it does, it chooses that one range where maximum accuracy can be achieved, but you can change that at any point of time. What next? Click on predicted data. That's where your test data actually is. Just right on top, you are seeing report so far. Just next to the report is predicted data. And this is your entire history of what is happening. So first of all, check if there are 178 rows. That were the number of rows in the test data. Scroll all the way till the end and you see what the algorithm has done. For every single row, it has calculated the probability of 0, it has calculated the probability of 1, and it has given the prediction of whether this is survived or not survived, and whether that prediction was correct or not correct. It has added all the information that you need. And in the hackathon, I could actually ask you this. I can say, can you go to the fifth row or fifth passenger in this Titanic and tell me what was the algorithm's prediction, what was the actual answer, and was it correct or not? So you can go to the predicted data, you can see your fifth passenger, you can see what the algorithm predicted, whether it was correct or not. And these columns never existed before. It has added these columns. It has given the prediction 0 and 1 both are not needed because the total is just 1. So actually probability of 1 is all what you need. This is 1 minus that, and then the prediction based on the cutoff, and then whether the prediction was correct or not. It adds all that piece of information to anyone who wants to see it. For anyone who doesn't want to see, you can come back to the report and say, okay, I understood what is happening, but I can go to the test data and I can see what it did at the backend. So these are the things that you must be comfortable with. Number one, what if analysis? You should be able to put a hypothetical passenger, get the prediction, feature importance, regression coefficients, confusion matrix, and predicted data. And everything else is optional. You can see what these are, advanced mathematical parameters, but this is good enough to make sense of a prediction model. Any questions? All good? Okay, so time for us to take a break. It's 2:50, 3:05. We'll be back. Thank you.
Sir,
Yes,
I wanted to ask regarding the mock hackathon when
Mhm.
it's going to be on the 15th,
That's right. For you, it's going to be 15th and the main hackathon on Sunday, 19th.
19th.
Yeah,
So this 15th is the mock hackathon, right?
that's correct.
Uh, but will it be a practice? What is it going to be?
So it will mimic completely the main hackathon. So you'll be given 3 hours, you'll be given data set, you'll be given a question, you'll be doing this. So it will be a complete mock experience of the actual hackathon.
Ah, I see. Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. Sahil, go ahead.
Hello, sir.
Yep.
So actually, I tried accessing the video recordings yesterday, but I wasn't able to do that. So like it
Okay.
was
Can
telling,
I tell you after the session? You just remind me and I'll show you where it is.
no, sir, I
Hmm.
actually did it, but
Okay.
it was showing that I don't have the permission to access it.
Maybe you are logging in with different ID. You should log in with M00.
So it's the same one.
I can check. So after the session, just show me where it shows.
Okay, okay, sure,
Okay.
sir.
Other students, I'll just take your questions after the session. If you don't mind, we'll have enough time. Thank you. Sorry, someone online had a question. You can ask me now before we start. I think it was Udit, that you were asking something.
Yeah. So
Yes, Udit, tell me.
so the data set which you shared,
Mm-hmm.
so I was thinking to start working on that. So
Mm-hmm.
is that okay that the username and the password that we are using for the classwork, we can use the
Mm-hmm.
same one, or we'll have to use
For
the
the research
different
project,
one?
you mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you can, and you have to use the same one. Only for hackathon, it's going to be different. So for hackathon, you'll be
Okay,
given a
okay.
different username and password. Yeah, but research project, you can
Okay.
just keep it in your folder and start working on it.
Okay, we can start working on it, as of now, we can start working on that.
Absolutely, yes, absolutely.
Oh, okay,
All
thank you,
right.
sir.
Yep, no problem. That's right.
So, can we leave the class at 5:30 today if possible?
Yeah, we'll finish even before that. 5:20.
Yeah, 5:30 is the registration link for the Sri Lanka class.
No. So our class is from 1:30 to 4:30
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
If you want, I can leave at 5:20. All right, shall we get started, everyone? Yep. Who did this curtains? It's okay, it's okay. No, I was wondering why.
Very bad. No one really matters.
Okay, shall we continue? Is everyone back and ready with their models? I'll be giving you a task next, which you should not take more than 5-10 minutes. And then we move on to the next part. Okay, so what you have to do now is, let me give you a quick summary of what has been done so far. If you go to the flow, nothing has changed. Okay. There was Titanic data, you have your prepared data, you split it into train and test, which means whatever drama we have done so far from AI modeling point of view has not reflected in our journey so far. Okay. So there is still enough time to select and then bring it back in our journey. So whatever journey we are taking is there in the visual ML. And that's my model, which is survive model. And this is where I was. Okay. Now, your task is, now there are two categories of people here. One set of students have made that variable, which was age category. Okay. For those who have done it, your task will be, you go to the design, you switch off age as an original variable and bring in age category as a new variable and rerun the model. Okay. And tell me if anything in the accuracy changes, anything in the feature importance changes. Okay. For those who don't have that age category, your job will be, go to the design, switch off embarked. Right now, embarked is switched on. Switch off embark, run it again, and check if it made any difference in your accuracy. Remember, you need to rename the trial as trial 2 when you run it. Don't override trial 1. So whatever changes you make in the design, when you run it, make sure that you name it as trial 2. So you should be able to see trial 1. You should be able to see trial 2. For those who have done age categories, you're switching off age and you're bringing in the new variable and running it again. For those who have not, you are only switching off embarked and then rerunning the whole model with everything else the same. And then which one? With age category, did it improve or became worse? Okay. Oh, it changed that much. 008 minus 2 points. Wow. And it improved with age category. See, embark also improved. Nice. Okay. And age category also improved. Okay. Nice. So which is 84% accuracy. See, this is how analysts think, and this is how you sorry. With what changes between age group and embark off, or age group with embark on?
Embark on.
On. Okay, good. Nice, nice. See, this is for improving, right? So you did some step, you rerun the model, you see whether it has improved or not. Those who did age category, I'm interested to know what was the, did you check the coefficient? Yeah, so let me show you what the current coefficient is. So I want you to report two things. Number one, in feature importance, age shows 15%. What does age category show? Same. Okay, so feature importance didn't change. Regression coefficient minus 2 point. Yeah, so that, and but no, it should report category wise then. No, then there is something wrong. It should be 9%. Yeah, but I'm just trying to look at the age. Can I check your? age category because the thing is integer. That's why. So that's wrong analysis.
So,
Yeah. Yeah, so you can get inside logistic regression and in this one itself. So what you can do is once you go to the design, go back. So you go to the design and you make whatever the changes. When you run, name it as trial to itself. So it overrides on saving trial. Okay. Okay. It improved 0.85. Nice. Nice. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to tell that. So, guys, now one important message, everyone, please pay attention. Those who have done age category are likely making a mistake. Everyone, please pay attention because even if you haven't done, you will do age category in future. So if you have done age category and if you have given it number like 1, 2, 3, and if you do not see different categories coefficient, that means it's treating this as a numeric value, which is wrong. Age category is not numeric, right? So if you actually go back to your flow and if you check your prepared data and if you see age category, it should be string interpreted as text. That should be the correct one. If that is there, then you're good. But if it is interpreted as integer, stored as number, then that's not the correct data type. So you need to be a bit careful, make that change, rerun. Anyway, so now you can try all these experiments a bit later. So everyone, please have a look here. Let's just move on. I'll give you 2 minutes for any other experiment that you're doing, and then we'll get to something important. As far as you understand how to make changes, rerun, see trial 1, trial 2, trial 3, you are good to go. I will also do trial 2. I'll remove embarked and rerun.
Sir, should we do trial 3 with embark if we have age category?
Why not? Why not? You can try as many trials as possible. No problem. Yes. You can try as many combinations as you want. You can rewrite on the existing trial. You can make a new trial. So in my case, I made a new trial called trial 2. Trial 1 is already there. I can see switching off embark has improved the accuracy to 84.1, which is good. Is everyone okay? Can you see some multiple trials? Are we ready to proceed? Okay, now let me show you probably the strongest feature of data IQ. Now, this is exclusively for those who are interested in coding and who are interested or probably have a prior experience with Python. I'm just showing you, you need not do it, or you can also see if you want. So, for example, I did trial 2 and I click inside logistic regression. I'm seeing all the results. Right on top, there's an option called actions. Okay. And there is this first option which says export to Jupyter Notebook. And this is perhaps the most attractive feature. So I can give a name for the notebook, and the moment I press create, whatever you have done in data IQ visually, it has converted that into Python code. And now if you want to develop an app or a website or whatever, the entire code, you look at the code, whatever you did, data preparation, modeling, the train data, test data, etc., etc., The full code has been generated at the backend. So if anyone says, oh, but in Data IQ, how do you, put that for a visual setup? You take the code and you put it onto an app, you put it onto a website, you're ready to create front end as well. The entire code has been generated at the backend, and it's quite an extensive code for all what we have done. This is the Python backend. So anyone who wants to run in Python, take it on from there. They can do that. You can also include Python recipes inside your flow. So anyone who's into coding can also get into that. Now, this was an added feature. You need not use it for hackathon or the coursework. Now comes the important part where I come back to visual ML. I come back to model, and I can see that trial 1 is there, trial 2 is there, trial 3 is there. You did multiple combinations, you got multiple results. And finally, you have a decision. Now, this is very, very important. You did all the trials, you looked at all the results, and you said trial 2 is what I am satisfied with. This is what I should be going ahead with. Okay. So in that case, what you do is get inside whichever trial you want. For example, I went inside trial 2's logistic regression, and I'm here. I'm 100% confident that this is the model that I'm going to close the deal. And I'm saying this is what I'm going to use for predictions. Okay. The moment I'm satisfied with something, there is an option called deploy right on top. Okay. And what this does, it closes the deals for you. So you have done multiple trials. You understood which trial is the best. You understood within a trial which algorithm is the best, and whichever you choose. And this is a human decision. Data IQ will not come and say, deploy this, deploy that. You have to look into all the trials. You have to find a decision making capability, and you need to decide this trial is the best for the prediction that I'm doing. And finally, I am ready to deploy my project. So now I click on deploy. It will once again check everything with you. It will say, was your train data set Titanic train? Was your test data set Titanic test? Check everything. And the model name is everything is good. And once you are okay, press create. And now you see that your flow has been changed. This is where finally one of the trials was taken into consideration, added to your flow. So which means both test and train are going into this, which is creating a final model, which is predicted survived. And the good part is you can go to the survived model from the flow. So if I double click on this, I can get into the place where I was. And again, I can see all the results. If you double click on this icon, which is train predict binary, you can change some settings if you want to, but I would not. So I can all go back, and I have deployed my machine learning model. So this is how it should look like once you have a final model which is ready for deployment. Anyone who has not got this, please call me. All good? Yes. No, you can even move that. No, yeah, that's fine. It's not matter. It's all the city on the sides. Yeah. That's a good question. Now, you won't get it in the form of equation, in the form of formula, but those regression coefficients which were there, I can write the formula. So I can show you now. So, so if you see regression coefficient there, so my formula would be log of odd ratio of survive is minus 2.69 times gender male plus 1.3288 T class 1 minus 9.489 T class 3 minus 0.38 SIP SP minus 0.39 age minus 0.0051 pars plus 3.1123. That's how I read that equation. Yeah, so that's always considered 1. That's the base class. So you always put the value as 1, and then relative to that, the coefficients will have. Good question. Okay, what else? What else? Let's get back to the flow. Now let's see something interesting. Now, what I want all of you to do is once your model is deployed, I want you to download another data set in week 5, which is called Unknown Titanic. And I want you to first open it in Excel. So download Unknown Titanic, open it in Excel, and tell me what what do you see as a difference between this Titanic data versus the what? There is no survived variable in this. Okay. And to be honest, and everyone pay attention here, to be honest, this is more realistic use case, right? When I have a bunch of passengers that I don't know whether they survived or not, can I use my own model to work on all these passengers and then get the prediction on whether each passenger will survive or not, right? Now, for example, bank loan data. You trained using 1,000 customers. Now you have 100 more customers who you don't know whether they will default the loan or not. Now, those 100 customers, I will take, run it through my model, and then do the actual predictions. That's why predictions are actually needed. So in this case, I don't have the survived column, and I need to use my model so that I can pass this data to my model and let the model come up with a prediction for each passenger from 892 all the way. How many passengers are there? Let's have a look. Oh, that's big enough number. Okay, I thought this was a smaller data set. Okay, so all the way till 1309, I have to do the predictions for every single passenger using my deployed model on whether each passenger here would survive or not survive. Let's do it. So let's see the step involved in that. So step 1, let's get back to data IQ. Now, inside the flow itself, you would see an option to bring in another data set, right? So inside the flow itself, if you go to data set, you will see upload your files. So let's bring in this unknown Titanic. And let's click on create. And let's go back to the flow. So you will see something. You'll see this handy data set over here, which is not related to your flow. Your flow is different. You had prepared, you had trained, you had test, and you have the model. Okay. Has everyone got this? Anyone who needs help could not import the data, please let me know. If yes, answer this question for me and listen very, very carefully. Now, I have a model which I have deployed. Okay. I also have the unknown Titanic data. If I tell you a recipe which can take this unknown Titanic data, pass it through the model and give the predictions, do you think I'm ready to do that? There is a recipe, by the way. Or do you think there could be some potential problems? I repeat, I can tell you there is one recipe in data IQ which takes your unknown data, which takes your final model and makes it pass through your model and does the prediction for you. One at a time. Yeah. That's okay. We'll still ignore. You're right. There are multiple columns which we are not using. But if those columns exist, the final model will not use them. So what's the problem?
Don't we need to prepare this data set?
Where do you think preparation will be an issue?
Like the age, for example.
100%. Now, data types are there, which we have changed. Missing value is something that we have done. Age category is something that we have done. We have already prepared the data in a certain format, right? Now, when this unknown data comes in, and there is a data mismatch. Maybe there is a column mismatch, maybe there is a data type mismatch, and then the algorithm will say, sorry, I cannot do that. If your unknown data matches your, model column, data format, etc., then I can do the prediction for you. But at this point of time, the biggest problem now you can see for those who made age category, the age category does not exist in this, right? It will immediately fail because your model has age category as one of the important variables. So we are likely heading to a failure if at this point of time I directly do the predictions. Now you would say, oh, well, but there is the other way is, okay, you repeat the data preparation. So whatever you did here, now you apply the same changes over here, which means take this, do the prepare recipe, prepare this, and the prepared format of that can go into the model. But you would say, I just wasted so much time in data preparation. And again, if I start with the prepare recipe, again, if I do this, it will be a big problem. I want you to take the next 10 minutes and figure out a smarter way to prepare this data in exactly the same format as that one without doing it from scratch. Give it a shot. You understood what you want to do, right? So I have unknown Titanic. I should have unknown Titanic prepared in exactly the same format as this one without doing things from scratch. Try. Now you should start exploring options. Done? Sure. No. So what is happening here is you have directly done the predictions, which is good. This is the one that you use for prediction, but it is not ready because this is not prepared. So you have to make unknown prepared in the format of Titanic and then do the prediction. Sorry? No. No fuzzy joints. It's a very simple thing. If you search online, search GPT, what can I do to? The only thing you're not allowed is doing things from scratch. So don't make a new prepared recipe and then. Yep. Be a bit complicated. There's even more easier way. Try. See, search, you will get. And this is how you learn the tool. It's not complicated at all. You did something. What is that? No. By the way, if you have experimented something wrong, just right click and delete everything. So you can get rid of any actions that you have done. Let's see if anyone can prepare. In fact, here is a hint. You don't need any additional recipe to do this. It is still the prepare recipe without actually doing data preparation. Yeah. Go to flow. Still hanging. Close, right? He says you can copy and paste the steps that you did earlier. That's exactly what I want you to try. Where and how is the question. 5 more minutes of you trying, then you delete everything that you have tried, and then we do it together. Thing will make it a bit complicated. Yeah, I know. Yes. No, it will copy the whole flow, but we want only the preparation to be copied. Good. I like the options that you're trying. That's how you learn the tool. Age category with copy. Nice. Okay. Can you show me the flow first? Ah, nice. Okay. And how did you reach to here? Yeah. Okay.
And back to the flow. I prepare a recipe.
And then paste it. Very nice. Very nice. Good. Good. See how simple things could work. He literally copied and pasted the steps. Step 1, step 2, step 3 to all together, control C, control V. But there is even a shorter method to that, which is real copy and paste of the whole thing. Let's do it together. So everyone, let's do it together. First of all, if you have brought in some additional recipes, for example, if you want to just get rid of this one, you can right click on this and click on delete. So anything additional that you have gotten, just delete, 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 and get back to this flow where you have something in the flow here and you have one hanging data set over here. Okay. Now, what I would do is I will click on the original prepare recipe. Okay. This was my original prepare recipe where I have step 1, step 2, step 3, or how many ever steps you took for doing the preparations. And one method is you can literally copy and paste the steps here, and then you can copy and paste in the new prepare recipe. But even smarter way is right at the end, you will see actions. Okay. When you click on actions, there is an option called copy. Okay. Now it says, where replacement of Titanic to which one? So first of all, I would say please take unknown Titanic. Okay. So I'm saying instead of taking Titanic, you take unknown Titanic, do all the copy paste of the steps and give it unknown prep as the new name. That's it. Just make sure your input is unknown Titanic. Your output is whatever name you want to give it. And that's it. Whatever steps you have applied here will get automatically copied to the unknown prep and you can do create recipe. And that's it. See, so both the steps which were there in the recipe got copied here. And all you have to do is click on run. I don't need to change anything because all the steps literally got copied directly. And that's it. I can go back to flow and you see what happened. So now there is unknown Titanic, the same prepared recipe got copied and it resulted in unknown. That means it has not run successfully. Just refresh, go back, double click on the new prepared recipe. If you're still getting blue dotted, just go back on the new prepared recipe now and make sure you click run. Done. And once you do it, you go back to the flow. That's it. Whatever steps you did here, the same steps got copied here, and now you have a prepared form of unknown Titanic. And you see how good things are in the platform. You don't have to repeat whatever you did earlier. Imagine you have done 20 steps of data transformation. You can apply those 20 steps on any data set. No need, because now we are not training. Now all the passages which are there in unknown, we are just applying our model directly. So no more training, no more testing, it's direct prediction stage. So no need to split. Yes, you had a question. Oh God. You deleted it. It's okay. If it is, you can do that. Let's see. Which one? Oh, that's because you have to run. So once you click for this, you can run. So run it. First, I'm sure. And that's okay. So the view can change. Okay, now the job is not done. Everyone, please have a look. Once you have done the prepared recipe, click on the unknown prepared. Check how many rows are there. 418 is the number of rows that you should have. And now it's the time when I will use this model and I will use this data and then ask data IQ to pass all the 418 rows into my model so that I can see what the predictions are. So let's get on from there. So now I want you to click on your final model, which is that predicted survive. Click on that. Once you click on that, the options associated with that model will come up on the right hand side, and you would see an option called score. This is that recipe which takes any unknown data, makes it go through your model, and gives you all the prediction that you need. Let's click on score. And it says, what is your input data set and which is your model? Tell me two things. I will do it for you. The model is already selected. Predict survive. That's why we click. What should be the input? Unknown prep. Correct. So let's click on unknown prep. And it says, where do you want the output to be scored? Where do you want to see the predictions? I would say, whatever. Prediction, you can give a name. Unknown predictions. Or you can keep the same name if you want. So make sure everything is correct. You have a input data, you have a prediction model, you have an output data where the predictions will be stored, and that's it. Create recipe. And everyone should land up on a page like this. Anyone who's not getting this, please let me know. Once you click create recipe, and you see it is asking a very important question. Do you want to keep the same probability threshold as you kept it in the earlier model, which was 0.475? At this stage, you can intervene and you can say, no, I would want to keep a different probability threshold, which is 0.5, let's say, and then continue the prediction. Or you can say, no, I'm happy. Whatever was the probability threshold before, I can continue with the same thing. This is also an analyst decision. Again, if you want some more output explanation, some columns to include, you can check all those options. But basically, I would not change anything and I would just click on run. That means do your job now, take the model, go through all the 400 rows, run it through my model, give me the predictions that I want. And it hardly took 2 seconds to do that. So it would be different what you have changed there. So depending on the new trial that you have selected, in the new trial, it selects that threshold for which it gets the maximum accuracy. So does not matter. And if it has run successfully, you should go back to flow. And now you should see this unknown prep went into the scoring, model went into the scoring and gave you a new data set where all your predictions are actually waiting. Let's see what those predictions are. I can double click. I can move all the way to the end and there you go. These columns never existed in your unknown data. There is a probability 0, there is a probability of 1, and there is a prediction based on the threshold whether each passenger would have survived or not. For all the 418 passengers, you have actually got the prediction. And I'm just
Sir, I
drawing
have
a
a
chart.
question.
Yep, sorry.
Sir, I have a question. Why
Go ahead,
didn't we
please.
use these data splitting recipe
Mhm.
on the new data set? We did it on
Uh,
the previous one.
no, we didn't do it on the new data set. See, so this was the new data set, which was unknown,
Yes.
and we just prepared the data. That's it. No training or testing. Directly went into the model and calculated the predictions. The train test
Okay.
is on the previous one, not on the new one.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yes, but why didn't we do it? That's
Which
the
one?
question. The data splitting. We didn't do it in the new data set, in the unknown data set.
Why didn't we do in new data set? Is it?
Yes, yes,
Yeah, because we are not doing machine learning execution here, right? We
yes.
only, the model is already ready with us, and we just want the results based on this data. Was I developing another machine learning model? Then I would do again a test and train and run again a model, check the accuracy. Right now, I have went through that stage. I am confirmed. I'm happy that this is the model which I like, and this is the deployment stage where I would take an unknown data, directly pass it through the model, and get the prediction. So I am not in the process of creating another machine learning model. I trust the one that I've already built, and I am running on that. And more
Okay,
importantly, I can't even do that because I don't know. There is no survived variable in the new data. So
I
you
see.
can't do test and train. You can't do machine learning.
Okay, thank
You
you.
can only predict. Good question. Yeah. Okay, so guys, I just did a small chart for, and you can compare if you want. So in my case, I got 233 as zero prediction and 185 as one prediction. So I have all the results with me. Okay, so anyone has any questions? Please do let me know. You should have unknown prepared. You should have the final predictions. See the last column, whether you can see the predictions of 0 or 1. Those are all the final predictions that you need. And now everything for the next algorithm that we will do next week is exactly the same. The only thing is, instead of logistic regression, we'll be using another algorithm. I'll tell you what that algorithm is, how it works, and everything else, the process remains exactly the same. Any questions from your end? All good, everyone? Okay, one last piece of information before we end the class is okay, now everyone please pay attention. This question was raised in the other batch. We do have a process for this. Now, what we actually do is Data IQ itself has a wing which is called Data IQ Academy. And there are a lot of certification courses which are available online. You can see there is core designer, there is ML practitioner, ML ops, and all that. Not all of them are relevant to what you are doing in the sense from a business perspective. Some of them are more technical from coding perspective and so on. So what we do as part of the education alliance between Middlesex and Data IQ, we offer a combined certification as well. And please listen to how you can get that certification. Okay. There are two things that you have to do to get a Middlesex Cross Data IQ certification on your journey with AI and business analytics. Okay. Number one, you have to complete two courses online, and I'll tell you which these courses are. So, one is basically core designer, and the second one is ML practitioner. Okay. Now, what happens in these courses? There are self explanatory videos, there are data set, you do the experiments, you complete the quizzes. At the end, there is an examination which you have to attempt. I think the passing percentage is 70 or something, 65 to 70. You can check, they keep on changing. Once you clear the exam, then you get one digital certificate from Data IQ itself. Okay. Similarly, you go to ML practitioner, you complete the course, you complete the videos, you complete the tutorials, everything, and you already have the software access with you. So there's no problem with that. Once you complete, there is an examination for ML practitioner as well. And again, if you score, I think 65 to 70 or higher, which is quite easy because they allow, I think, 2 to 3 retakes. They have some number on that, but just check what the rules are. Once you complete that, you get a digital certificate for ML practitioner also. So you should have 2 certificates with you. The third one is the hackathon of this module. If you complete that hackathon and you have 3 things with you, which means hackathon plus 2 individual certificate, then you get eligible for the overall Data IQ Cross Middlesex certification on business analytics and AI, which I'm not sure, like you will be on campus to receive the physical copy, but at least we can, do the digital copies, and the digital copies will be shared. The last batch, they were on campus, so we could give it to them physically, but I'm not sure what your plans are after the module is done. I don't think you have anything remaining, right? From a teaching perspective. So if you are here, if you can visit the university, we'll keep it in the marketing office. You can collect it from them, but digital certificates will be given, but there will be a form that will be floated after the hackathon. And in that form, you will have to upload your 2 certificates which you got from the online. So you upload your certificate, you tell you have completed ML practitioner, core designer, and then we know you have completed the hackathon. Once you have completed all 3, then we issue an overall certificate, which I think could be very valuable for your CVs. Why this could be very valuable, which I'm not sure if you know already. The region is heavily dominated by Data IQ clients. Okay. Someone was asking this, that, if you're learning this tool, learning this platform, what is the presence of Data IQ in the Middle East? Let me tell you, probably all the big names are already using Data IQ. And, we had actually a session from the Data IQ team here a few months back. And they had given a full list of clients in the UAE alone that are using Data IQ, and probably all the big names that you have heard. Emirates, FAB, all the banking sector, Emirates NPT, the government sector, education sector, oil and gas, ADNOC is a pretty heavy user of Data IQ. So almost all the big names that you are looking at, they are already the clients of Data IQ, which means you are not only positioning yourself as a Data IQ expert, but also positioning yourself as a candidate for these companies that are already using Data IQ within their company for any AI and machine learning related activities. So I think it will be a good value addition, particularly if you're looking for the job here and Europe and other things. In India, not pretty widespread compared to what it is here. But then also the Indian market is expanding with the clients who are actually using Data IQ. So very valuable addition if you're looking for a job here. By the way, Middlesex also has adopted Data IQ for their Gen AI applications. We actually hired 2 students to work on that. And again, in future, if there is any need from students' perspective, I'll always keep you posted. So good opportunity to get those certificates, not a major time investment. I would say probably 2 hours to 2 to 3 hours per course. 3 hours for ML practitioner, 2 hours for your core designer. And since you already know, it's not that you're learning Data IQ for the first time. You already know most of it. You're already comfortable. You just add on few more details with those courses and then get the certificate. You still have time. Don't do it in a rush. Core designer, you can do it now. So you don't need any more knowledge for core designer. For ML practitioner, you still need few more algorithms, which we'll be doing now. So probably after the module is done, all your coursework is done, then you can think of attempting. But if you have time, you can do it in advance as well. Question?
So it is free or paid?
Sorry?
It is
It's free as part of your education alliance. The only thing is you'll have to sign up with your MDX email ID. I will be posting it on Teams. I'll be also sending an email. I'll be sending you the link where you can register. So as part of the alliance, it is completely free. The only thing is you'll have to use the Middlesex email ID for registration. Any other questions that I can answer? All good?
I
All
have a
right, so we
quick
are
question.
finishing a bit early today. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you all next week, Tuesday. Thank you.
Sir, I have a quick question
Go
regarding
ahead,
this.
please.
Is there a limit on how many attempts we have for this
I'm
certification?
not sure they actually change the limits. I think it is 3 or 4. I'm not sure, but you can check once I share the link. You can just have a look.
Okay, and we're okay to do this post this course as well to get that
Absolutely.
certification.
At least the core designer, you can start now.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Okay. Any other questions from online students?
No, sir. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you, sir. Hello, sir.
Yes,
Sir, I forgot to mark my attendance.
I
Sorry.
will do that now.
Yeah, yeah. I just came back.
Yeah, sure. No problem. Do you want to scan it now?
Yeah, yeah, I can scan it.
Okay, I'll just share the screen. There you go. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I think it is quite good. But again, they are more from the perspective of tools, AI tools like Claude and how to do prompting and all that. I think it's a good addition because you will get to know how to use these tools for agentic AI, workforce optimization, etc., etc. It's a good knowledge to have. But again, more from a tools using perspective. But it's quite well received. I've seen that here, all on campus, all on campus. So you can enroll if you wish to. Yeah. All right. Thank you. See you. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Alicia. See you.